just look at some train records, and I've intentionally started as far back as 1990. This is from the Guinness Book of Records. Number one, on 18th May 1990, a high-speed train with a speed of 513.3 kilometers per hour, which converts into 320 miles per hour, was recorded by a national rail system, the SNCF TGV Atlantic, between Courlane and Tours in France. You see, trains can travel at very, very high speeds. The French TGV, which runs between Lille and Roissy, covers 204 kilometers. That converts into 126 miles with some yards, in 48 minutes. The train TGV covered 126 miles. It's like from Accra to Konongo, near Kumasi, in only 48 minutes, traveling an average of 254.3 kilometers an hour. That translates into 158 miles an hour. Can you imagine that? How many other road vehicles can compete? And even jet planes. The first record, it's almost equals what jet planes would do. Still on speed records, a French train hits a new speed record in 1989 near the eastern city of Strasbourg, zipping along the tracks at 574.8 kilometers. That translates into 357.2 miles an hour. Which road vehicle can do the speeds? Lamborghinis, Maseratis, all these top sports cars, they can't do that. The second record on this slide is about a Japanese magnetic levitation train, or what we call a maglev. The maglev is what holds the record, and it's been holding it for quite some time now. And it has a speed record of 581 kilometers per hour, which was reached in 2003. So from 2003, the Japanese train has held the speed record. The latest there and then, which was in April 2015, this maglev train did 603 kilometers per hour. And they run on rails but glide on a magnetic field. So wonderful, isn't it? The fastest point-to-point record by 1990, which I'm referring to from the Guinness Book of Records, is between Hiroshima and Kokura in Japan on the Nazami 500 and Nazami 503. That is the schedule, the operating system. In fact, this train on this system covered 119 miles, which is equivalent to 192 kilometers in 44 minutes at an average speed of 162 miles an hour, or 261 kilometers per hour. So you see this magnificent train records which was set years back. Now this record is about freight trains, and I have a video of that, similar to this, which I'll place it on the platform for you to play it at another time. And by the record set, which is in the Guinness Book of Records, from the 26th to the 27th of August, which is in 1989. How many years now? 31 years. A record of 660 wagons. That made up a train length of 7.3 kilometers. which is equal to 4.5 miles. The train alone covered a distance of 4.5 miles. That was the length of the train. And it had a tank car and caboose vans. It also made a record. This long train, which was 4.5 miles long, covered a distance of 861 kilometers, which is equal to 556. If you want to look at 861 kilometers, then this train went from Accra beyond Paga, from the bottom to the top, because from Accra to Bolga, Paga is about around 840 kilometers. And the gauge size was only the same as we have in Ghana, 3 feet 6 inches. It was very narrow. But look at what, a significant record that a train achieved. Not in the Western world, I'm talking about in South Africa. And the train traveled from on the Sishen to Saldanha. That was the railway line that this record was achieved on. And this distance of 861 kilometers was covered only over 22 hours, 43 minutes. The freight train was moved by a total of 950 kilovolts electronic and 7 diesel electric locomotives distributed along the length. So you see, it's like this train covered a distance from Tema. Let's say this train was carrying containers offloaded or from the port. 660 wagons. So one movement of such a train would move the entire containers that arrives or offloaded at Tema Port if they were to be transported to somewhere, a terminal beyond Ghana, say Paga or somewhere in the Burkina Faso. This is great. It takes several days for articulated trucks carrying only one container to cover the distance from Tema to Paga. And in this record, a train carrying 660 wagons. Let's just assume each wagon only carried one container. It means within one day, this train carried 660 containers from the port to somewhere beyond Paga in the upper east region. Isn't it great? So we know by these records that trains can really run, and they can really run fast. Trains can compete with the other modes of transport. The probably only means of transport that may outdo or outrun trains will be aeroplanes. And some aeroplanes may not even be able to catch up with trains. Such trains described in this speed records. That is for you, for trains. So from here on, know that trains are not slow. They are very fast means of transport. Let me quickly give you this example with insight into freight forwarding you just studied. If you are an integrator or fast forwarder who carried, smaller parcels, mails, and packages between cities or from Ghana and had to deliver goods in Burkina, it means if we had a train available in Ghana that, has network across, then within the same day, the parcels can be transported across the whole of the country in one day, which would be a great achievement if we had it. So imagine we had a very good railway network. Then forwarders would have a field day. It would be a doddle, quite easy to deliver cargo anywhere in the country, almost same day. And distances between, let's say, Tema or Accra and Kumasi will be just a matter of minutes. In an hour, speed train traveling to Kumasi, if we had a maglev or any of the TGV trains, would cover Accra to Kumasi in a matter of 1.5 hours. You know, what a great improvement in our transportation it will be if we had, real transport. Believe you me, Ghana had, very good rail transport system. We didn't have such records, but in the years gone by, we used to have it, and it went status. We'll look at it later on and see whether it will help us, or see the worth of what governments are trying to do now to bring back the old transportation, whether it will help or not. We will know as we go on in this